For as long as I can remember, it had been my mom and I. Well, my mom, me, and her. I gave her the official name, the Night Stalker, long ago. Even after all these years, I still don't know why she appears, what she wants, or what she even is. Her overall appearance is humanoid, minus genitals or nipples. She has the appearance of breasts, hence why I deemed her a woman. But no other overtly feminine or masculine traits. The few strands of hair that adorn her head are wispy and scraggly. They fall over an abnormally large forehead that tapers into a sharp chin. Her sickeningly wide mouth stretches from ear to ear, or at least it would if she had any. The best way to describe my Night Stalker is if that Momo thing had an alien head and way less hair. She is tall. Not the kind of tall that elicits questions about your athletic abilities, but the kind that draws unwelcome stares and finger pointing. She crouches just low enough to stare at me through my doorway. This has been happening since I was about 5 or 6 years old. In the beginning, I was terrified. I still am, but after nearly a decade of this happening nightly, you learn to deal with it. Especially when no one believes you. My Night Stalker has been the reason behind many visits to several therapists and psychiatrists. After a brief stay in a mental facility at age 12, I realized that no one was going to help me. I played the role like I was better. My only options seemed to be to deal with my Night Stalker on my own, or continue to be drugged from doctor to doctor and facility after facility. So I chose the former. I've tried everything over the years, from saging the house to taking up traditional religion, even to witchcraft. But still she remains, watching me every single night. Some will read this and question why I didn't just shut my door at night. I tried that possible solution and spent the entire night hiding under the covers as my Night Stalker wailed, scratched, and pawed at my door. The next morning, I asked my mom if she heard any noises throughout the night, and was met with a familiar look of worry. I quickly dropped the subject, as the answer was apparent. I even thought that maybe our house was haunted, but after my first and last sleepover at 9, I was proven very wrong. A girl named Anna invited me to her birthday sleepover. It was a fun, joyous time filled with cake, ice cream, and giggles. As night approached, I felt confident that I had left my Night Stalker at home and could enjoy a peaceful night's sleep for once. I was quickly proven wrong as the shadowy image of her lanky form watched me silently from the corner of Anna's living room. Needless to say, that was my first and last sleepover, as I frantically awoke Anna's parents to contact my mother to pick me up at 1 a.m. I explained it away as being homesick, but I think she knew better. About 2 years ago, acceptance finally crept in, as this entity seemed bound to haunt my nights forevermore. That was until recently. About 2 weeks ago, I saw her in daylight while daydreaming in science class. I looked out of the window, and there she was in all her horrifying glory, standing nearly as tall as the tree in the campus courtyard. In the light of the day, I could see every wrinkle that marred her pale white skin that rested over a frail skeleton that stood its entire unnatural length. She just stood there with her gauntly long arms resting at her sides. If it were not for the menacing smile that crept across her face, I could have assumed she was some early Halloween decoration. Upon seeing such a ghoulish sight, most would scream bloody murder. And even now as I write this letter, I'm still unsure if it was shock, the acceptance of inevitable fate, or both that prevented any sound from escaping my lips. I recall looking around the room to see if anyone else had noticed. Most were paying attention to the lecture, and the handful that were also daydreaming out the window showed no signs that they were also seeing the gruesome apparition. Ever since then, I have continued to see her in both daytime and at night. She maintains a healthy distance in the light, but has begun to inch closer every night. For years, she had stood several feet outside my doorway during her regular nighttime visits. I know she hasn't moved in all these years because her position has always been right across from the large painting in our hallway that my mom bought when I was around 7. In the 2 weeks since my Night Stalker's first appearance in the daytime, she has migrated past the wall painting and made it to my door. Which brings me to the ultimate purpose of this letter. 2 nights ago, I awoke to see her standing just inside the threshold of my door. And last night, she stood just feet from my bed. I don't know for sure what will happen when she reaches me, but I have an idea, and it terrifies me beyond belief. I've tried to delay going to sleep as long as I could, but even now as the night continues to grow darker, I feel frigid breath on my neck. To those who didn't believe me, who called me imaginative, crazy, or just a straight-up liar, I forgive you. Somewhere along the way, I found forgiveness. And though I still fear my fate, I hope there is peace in this next plane of existence. This letter was found at the scene of a horrendous murder of a 16-year-old Hannah Stevens. Stevens was found mutilated beyond recognition in her home. Reports say her mother was unaware of the gruesome scene, mere feet away from her, as she heard nothing. It wasn't until she went to wake Hannah for school that she discovered the devastating scene. It was also reported that there were no other residents currently living in the Stevens home. DNA testing was necessary to positively identify the remains. There were no signs of a break-in or intruder, sources say. At the time, police aren't releasing any new information, but ask that if anyone has any info to please contact the Granite Falls Police Department at 555-567-0000.